Hi, and welcome to the show. I'm Jesse White, owner of Sarasota Architectural Salvage, Sarasota's most unique shopping experience. The Interior Design Society's 2009 show house will open in January to benefit Habitat for Humanity. We're giving you the behind-the-scenes look as we go from salvage to show house. Welcome to our side yard. This is a fabulous treasure trove of outdoor items for your garden and for your poolside. We've got statuary, we've got wrought iron, we've got gates, and oh well, I could talk about it all day, but instead of that, let's just go and take a look at it. This is just an example of some of the garden art, garden statuary that we have. We take in items from estates. We also have some local folks who are doing some casting of old molds, and so we have new items that are cast off of old items. We've got old items. It's just an incredible thing. We have all kinds of themes. You know, we have Asian, we have deco, we have well, we have some religious themes. We've got, you know, St. Francis, and we've got nautical themes. We've got mermaids. It's just it's a wonderful thing. Now, at the show house, they're not quite at the point where they're thinking about their garden. They're still trying to get the walls up, the paint on, cabinets in, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, there's going to be a time when everyone's show house needs to have some garden art. So we've got great little figures that can just sort of peek out from behind some daisies or do whatever. You know, it's currently, of course, October, November. It's kind of fall themes. You know, we have gargoyles. We probably have the area's best selection of gargoyles, which are, you know, those folks that guard your house from the evil spirits, and they're just so much fun. We've got desktop ones. Well, let me go find one here. So this guy, you know, he could go on your desktop, or he could go in your garden, on your gates, on your house. And of course, these guys, you know, are reproductions. Something new of this nature, only which this is, runs, you know, 20 to 30 bucks. But something old that was actually salvaged, say from the top of the, you know, New York State, where a lot of the gargoyles are, might run, you know, several hundred or even $1,000 for something of this size. So if you have an old gargoyle, hold on to that. But if you want something that's got a lot of character, come on in, because we've got them. A lot of people find a lot of solace by looking at having Buddhas in their garden. Very tranquil. It's very, very, very appreciated. The artist that does this particular Buddha does hand casting, short runs, and then he and his wife actually give it the stains, they give it that aged look. And it's, if you come up here, no two are the same. They're absolutely individual pieces, and it's supporting the local economy. It's supporting local individuals who are actually making these things locally, and then actually, you know, investing their money back into the community. So that's one of the things I like about some of these pieces. We also have a wide variety of bird baths and fountains, and these elements, again, they may be salvaged, they might be something that's new and recast. These things are incredible gems for the garden, incredible gems, focal points that really accent what you have going on, and it makes your whole experience of the outside really pop. And it's just, I mean, I get feedback all the time about how they put one of these statues by the pool and get a million comments from all their friends and neighbors as they come and visit, and also just that incredible source of joy every time you look out and you see something that you contributed to the landscape in that way. So come in and browse around and take a look at all of our wonderful things for the garden. So another thing that we have out here in our side yard is iron fencing and iron grates. These are great little elements to put in the garden and let your vines trail up. This is a salvage piece that came from Egypt. It's old, and it's got the old banding on it, rivets to hold it together. Just a fabulous piece. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a trellis. It doesn't have to go in the garden. It could become part of a sideboard. We could make this into a table for you in your entranceway or somewhere else, a sofa table. It could become a coffee table. So, you know, we're doing all kinds of fabrication to make from salvage those unique elements that pop out. They become the conversation piece in your house. They have that love and that experience, and they have some history to them that, you know, give you a place of interest and a point of conversation. So, you know, out here we have an incredible collection of elements that came from a foundry up in St. Petersburg. This is what we call new old stock. These are new elements that are maybe 30 or 40 years old because they came from the stock of this foundry. We have kind of light duty stuff like this, which is actually a cast aluminum with some welding tabs on there, so it becomes very versatile. And this is the kind of thing that might have ended up in a porch support or in a gate or fence section. And you know, we have multiples here so that you can do some fun projects. The other thing, we have all kinds of motifs. We have acorns, you know, which is a little bit more of a northern theme. Then we have the fleur-de-lis. We have all kinds of, this has hummingbirds or some sparrows built into the pattern. Unfortunately, this did not meet with the thematic requirements of the show house, but this is an element that was actually being considered. It is a corner piece, and it's they need an element to go up into one of the corners of the front door, and so this is one of the pieces that they were considering. This piece, I think, fit a little bit more with their theme and the sort of this nouveau Mediterranean kind of flavor, urban Mediterranean flavor that they're going for. However, we only had one. So that's one of the challenges with salvage. Sometimes you only have one. So we're going to work on it. We're going to try to find something for them so that we can take this salvage and put it in the show house and be able to enjoy that for years to come. So today, Bill Lockhart's sending a guy over to pick up the elements that he purchased for the show house. And so we're going to be loading up those elements. They're going to be going over to the show house today. And later today, we're going to start seeing them modify those salvage elements to start being incorporated into the 2009 IDS Designer Show House. So we've got the balcony, the transom, the door with the little peekaboo window. We've got also the two large oak doors that'll be going into the study. Well, now we're going to go over and talk with Alan Gravely and Stan Reitzel. They are two of the designers working with Bill and Lori Lockhart on the Designer Show House. And we're going to meet them at their studio where they produce the elements that they incorporate into their work. Well, here we are from beginning to end, and this is I'm really excited about speaking with Alan Gravely and Stan Reitzel. I really, beginning to end, really intrigues me as a name for a company, and I want to get a better sense of what it is you guys do. And so can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with this concept of beginning to end?
Well, the whole concept started that we would start with an empty room, meet with the client, get an idea of what they wanted, present everything to them, and then complete the room from measuring it, designing it, fabrication, and installation. So that's how we came up with the name Beginning to End, because we start at the beginning and finish at the end.
So I hear some of the challenges that people have out there is sometimes, they've got to deal with a lot of different people, when they're going in and doing a project, they have to order from one company and somebody might manufacture it, another person's installing it.
We don't have that problem here because we are the manufacturer. I am the installer. So I go out, measure the job, come back, get with Stan on the project. We go over the measure sheets, we go over the fabrics, we go over the design, and we make sure that everything is to scale and that all the lengths are correct before it goes out the door. I then go out, do the installation, completed, dressed out. Our motto is, it goes out one time. So it has to be done right the first time.
This is a wonderful showroom that you have here. I'm really impressed. I mean, we're sitting here with literally hundreds of samples of different kinds of fabrics that you could choose for your home. And this is what I think is phenomenal about working with designers like you. It's like you visualize for every individual situation, do I go with the mauve? Do I go with the, pearl? You just are able to connect that whole thing together. So
usually when I meet the client, I'm looking around their home from the first time I walk through the door and getting a vibe of their house and them. I'm really trying to capture their essence and what they're about, whether they have things that they've collected over a period of time or they're starting from scratch. So I really want to get to know them so that the house looks like them when I'm done.
Alan goes out, meets with the customers, gets a sense of, what they want, who they are, how it's going to all come together, and then he comes back with his notes and his ideas, and then he turns it over to you. So I think that's very exciting. You're the get-it-done guy for the shop. So can you tell me a little bit about, what drives you, what gets you excited about this business,
Well, first of all, Alan and I work together really well as a team. I mean, he's out there in the front lines and I'm back here behind the scenes. And it's really my job to make sure that everything goes out perfect. I'm a perfectionist and I like to make sure that when this job goes out and it's installed, that it's not coming back and we have a happy customer. And so I ask Alan a ton of questions about any job that has to be installed. How far above a window, how far outside the windows. There's just a million questions that I have and I expect all the answers from him.
So welcome to production at Beginning to End. And again, I'm talking with Stan Reitzel, and he is going to tell us a little bit about the whole process of once Alan has gone out and gotten measurements, how this stuff goes from just, scratches of information on a piece of paper into a beautiful window treatment.
Well, Jesse, it all started with this plan right here. A decorator came to us and said, I have a bathroom window that I want an arched window treatment in it with jabots hanging down the side. So anytime we do an arched window, Alan always makes a template. Okay. And so Alan had went out to the customer's house and he put this paper up on the window and he drew out this template. And then he brought it back here to me and it has the different measurements of everything on here that we need. And so what I need to do is build a frame to mount this window treatment to. So we have this bendable plywood that we put up here, and we actually just shape it right around that arch, and we glue two pieces together and staple them so that when the glue is dry, it comes out just like your perfect arch that you need. Okay. Then from there we'll go over and go through the fabrics and we'll come up with our pattern for this one's going to have 3 swags on it. The swags will be out of this brown fabric and the jabots will be out of the contrasted in this fabric, and then it's going to have trim all around it. Right. So that's kind of one of the stages of doing an arched window treatment.
Well, as we know from previous shows, you're involved with lots of different aspects of the show house, and I think that's really wonderful to have someone tying it all together. But There are a couple of spaces in the show house that you're involved with in particular.
Yes, the other room that I am doing is the office/art gallery. It's a nice size room, but it's not overly large. So I really wanted to do something a little bit different and keep it fairly clean. Let it have a nice contemporary style desk at the end, using some salvaged materials and some recycled glass, and then having beautiful artwork running from floor to ceiling on either side of the room with a beautiful window treatment covering the window right behind the desk. The main room that we're actually got started with was the great room, which encompasses a very large portion of the house, right off the kitchen and the dining area. Has this great circular detail that is in the ceiling. So I wanted to come up with a way to kind of divide the space a little bit. So what I'd like to do is use a round track that's going to follow the circular detail, that's going to have a sheer that's going to hang behind the sofa to give a slight division between the two rooms, but yet not obscure them from each other. And also like to suspend a piece of artwork from that to kind of visually create a wall. And then also repurposing a designer sofa and having it reupholstered in a very nicely textured contemporary styled fabric, and then working off of the colors from the main fabric, which was kind of inspired from seeing the water, bringing some of the outdoor colors to the inside with the neutrals, and then also using this heavily textured sheer with this fabric just to create some great interest around the windows.
Thank you, Alan. I really am excited to see how this room comes together. I mean, it just sounds fabulous, and I love the process that you go through to come up with your ideas. Now, you know, this is from salvage to show house, so I have to just point out we do have a repurposed sofa in this situation, and I think that's a great example of how you can take something that's lived as a designer piece in another lifetime, and it's getting the customization and the detailing to make it work in this space. And that's what we're always looking for, is finding those real gems and bringing them in to fit into the new situation. And I'm really excited that you found something to incorporate there, and I just can't wait to see how this all comes together. Welcome back to From Salvage to Show House. We're actually at our secret location on Siesta Key at the Show House to talk with Bill and Lori Lockhart and Lockhart Builders to see how the progress is going on the building of the 2009 Interior Design Society show house. So Bill, we got the balconies here at the show house.
Yep.
And you're going to get ready to install them?
Yes, sir.
But we did go and take a look at it. There's a little bit of some sizing issues, and so what's the plan? What are we going to do?
Well, we got to we're going to have to cut drywall. Cut
drywall.
Yeah, it's always fun, but the arch is just a little different than the rough opening we made. So we're going to cut it a little bit and alter it. It'll be fine.
Okay. Well, that's why we have a skilled builder involved with the project, right? So that you can do that kind of thing. Yeah. And then I know we were talking a little bit about maybe moving the balcony itself up a little bit on the new shutter set. So here we are. It's been a couple of months since our last meeting out here at the show house. Give us a quick, update. Where are we?
Well, we're at the trim phase.
Trim phase.
And the tiles and the floorings and
getting ready for flooring.
Yeah, things like that. So we're just doing a little bit of prep work. Pretty much the interior is complete as far as painting and whatnot goes. Another coat needs to go on after. We'll roll that coat after all the doors and everything's set nice, and all the subs have come in and rubbed their tool belts all over the walls, and then we'll fix them all out.
That's right.
But so we've come a pretty long way. We're also working on the pool deck outside, so we're getting ready to pour that and get everything going.
All right. Okay, so great. We've got the floors done. We've got the drywall up. We've got all the seams done. We've got the paint up, and now we're working on all the finishes, right? The
Yes.
flooring, you've got doors ordered. You've got. That's why we brought the salvage out here today, because you're ready to start putting it in.
Yes.
Okay. So I just, the viewers, what should they expect when they're building a custom home? What are they going for? They're going to have plans and things are going to get out of the ground, and then there's going to be this lull where it doesn't look like a lot happens over a few months.
Pretty much.
And then now we're in that point where everything just like boom, comes together, and then like every week we're going to start seeing things happening, right?
Yeah, there comes the middle part of the construction phase it's hard to see what's there because most of it's behind the walls.
Behind the walls, right.
And then once everything is finished out, and then we're able to put the trim and all the stuff that looks nice to the average viewer, then believe me, I get very excited also when I see that, because I know that it's coming close to an end. And it's always, but this house is kind of a special house for us because we feel like it's got some character, and we feel like between IDS, myself, Coldwell Banker, and Architectural Salvage, and Habitat for Humanity, we feel like it's a good mix, and it's something that we feel people will take to right now, especially in times like this when you come into a house and see some old doors or whatever, something with a little bit of character and has a story behind it. We feel like it's just better, a little bit better than the average house.
Well, thanks for joining me again for another episode of From Salvage to Show House. As we go with the Lockharts as they build the 2009 Interior Design Society Show House, which will be open to the public in January. I want to thank you for being here and encourage you to come to my website, www.sarasotasalvage.com, where we have links to the show house, the Habitat for Humanity, and all the designers that we've been interviewing on the show, as well as archived episodes of ones that you might have missed. So please join us again next week as we go from salvage to show house.